That's me.
Yeah, by the way, that's you. The thing is
funny,
that no, because I see a lot of people that they're trying too much, and I think it's not good in general. I don't know, maybe because I don't like things when they're too much. Some people maybe they appreciate it, so I'm talking from my narrow lens. But because also when I worked in corporate, I was a lot with like the higher management that they keep wearing these blazers and handkerchiefs, and they walk in and they speak ha ha ha, and it made no sense because we need to get to a point and take a decision, but all they do is like sit and ha ha, and it made no sense.
Looking sharp is easy if you haven't done any work. Like if you have all the time in the world to show up like a perfectionist, right, 100% out of 100%.
But they have the time and they have the means. It's just that some people they really like to look extra. You know,
like that,
even yeah, it's your style.
You know in American Psycho how they all wear the suits and they just sit on the table and they discuss about the fabrics and the fabrics of their business cards.
Yeah.
Mine is made
I didn't watch this.
You watched American Psycho?
No. He showed me a small clip, and I didn't know that it's Javier. I think it's Javier, the actor.
Christian Bale.
Then what was the one that you showed me with Javier?
Christian Bale. Yeah, the Batman.
Yeah.
Ah, no, then that's not the American Psycho that you showed me. The one with Javier that was like entered a shop. I was not you. Sorry. There was this movie about Javier that I think he won an Oscar for it.
Yes, I did show you. That's
the one that you showed me.
No Country for Old Men.
Oh, that's a great
That
movie.
is an amazing movie.
He was also a
That's a
psychopath,
great
right?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, that's the one I was saying.
So dark.
Yeah, and he went to the
American
store
Psycho
and he was
that
looking
movie
like.
is very similar.
Yeah, true, but the difference is like in American Psycho, he's not aware that he's it's different. He's not a
twist on that movie.
Like in No Country for Old Men, he's a killer. Like he takes somebody calls him and he says, do X, Y, Z, and you get X amount of money. Christian Bale was just stupid. He was
I didn't
mental.
watch these movies.
Yeah. All right.
I actually have questions in the YouTube comments.
Really?
Yeah, maybe we should start with that.
Remember when Ari Maddie he said I made it?
I had someone reaching out, DM me. Yeah.
On YouTube?
Well, not on YouTube for me, on Instagram for me.
No one DM'd me yet.
Yeah, somebody asked, I think very similar question to what Carl had, because people want to know the purpose behind all of this. You know,
The purpose of what?
Why are we doing this? And what is it that what message are we trying to give to the people? Like, are we focusing on educating real estate agents? Are we education buyers? Or what's the whole purpose behind this? So, do you want to take it away?
No, but I think everybody would think of it differently, right? What do you think, guys? What is the purpose of this?
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious. We all have seen the real estate industry here, right? And from my perspective, what we want to do is bring a client journey, which is so good and outstanding that the people just love it.
That's right. That's right.
It sounds very simple, right? It sounds extremely simple. You think that's normal, but at the end of the day, I don't think the majority of the people who actually buy here, the investors, make a good experience. We've just been, who was that guy? We just talked about someone yesterday, I think. He called us because he got on a certain project.
Oh, that was a
so
nice
proud.
guy.
He got 8% discount on a project.
Oh, which one are we talking about? Because now
the one which is very far out, where he got 8%, but it's not a good investment at all. And he was so proud that he got the 8%, and the agent, whoever was dealing with him.
Yeah, because honestly, these kind of discounts or like certain type of payment plans, sometimes it's like the way marketing works, 99 cents and stuff like that. I can't understand it. He was, quite frankly, it's not good, but...
Well, look, a project that is affordable, it's affordable, right? Because could be the area, could be the size of the unit, whatever. But if you've got a project that is being launched and then people are now getting discount, that's where you have to start questioning. Why are they giving discount in the first place? Because not everyone is given a discount. It's one or two particular projects, because everyone else is high demand, no discount. So it's not the fact there is something that is happening in the market, it's more of this particular project is giving high percentage of discount. So you have to ask yourself, why?
Yeah, but I think it's humanity in general. I don't know, I think that's how, like, certain people are skeptical and they would say, like, yeah, but why, for example, like Eastern Europeans, they're like, if you smile at them, they're like super skeptical, versus Americans are too bubbly. It's like just different dynamics. I think some people, when you give them a discount, they're like, oh, it's great. And some people are like super skeptical. It's like, okay, so now this is too good to be true. But yeah, I don't know how to solve this. I think it's just like it comes from a person to person.
Because if I'm looking to buy a car, for example, and let's say the price range for this particular car is 10,000 euros, 10,000 pounds, whatever the case might be, and there is one that is for, let's say, 7,500. Now, first thing that comes to mind, what's wrong with it? Why is this cheap? That's how I view things.
Yeah, but that's the difference between critical thinking and people who get excited over like something that sounds good. I don't know, I think I've seen both type of people, at least in my lifetime. Some people, the minute you tell them something, they start questioning it, like right, left, and center. And some people, you tell them, yeah, it's Black Friday. They go all to the mall and they go buy, like, you know, the like comedians when they say, like, people buy shit they don't need. Look, no, George Carlin is like, people use money they don't have to buy shit they don't need.
To impress people they don't like.
Yeah, true.
True.
I think it's you try to do as much as possible, but sometimes I think you cannot salvage it. Maybe it's good for people to have some education, but I think that's the reason Black Friday still works. You cannot eradicate that concept.
Because I've seen many times how you present projects to the investors, right? And you, some people will say specialize, but you focus on certain project. And in the beginning, I was like, why does she not show everything to the client? And then slowly, after working with you for a while, I realized why. Because you're obviously trying to give something that you believe in, that is going to be profitable for the client, that is going to actually work.
And it didn't work out for me in the beginning, because people thought that you're trying to just sell them one thing, but because you did your due diligence, you went straight like, okay, I'm saving you time. But then I had to understand that the trust hasn't been built yet with a client. Like, you cannot expect them to know that you're trying to build a good journey, because, you know, it's whether we like it or not, it's still sales. So people, they still look at you with a skeptical eye. So yeah, in the beginning it didn't work out.
That's where we come in, and that's why I think we need to explain what that journey actually looks like with us, because it sounds simple, but it is a whole big equation. And it kind of also has to do with the other question that we got, which is, how are we structured as a team? How do we work?
Really?
Yeah.
Really, people are wondering?
Yes.
I really didn't think with that approach.
I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to everyone that watched the last episode, and thank you for the comments, thank you for the question. Honestly, I did not expect people are going to reach out and ask questions, but people are excited. Honestly, people are excited. They want to know the purpose behind this, the message we're trying to, and I'm not sure, because you've got a lot of agents coming out doing podcasts and whatever, and then they are by themselves most of the time. I don't know. I have not seen yet people working in teams, working together and focusing on the client's journey. So, yeah.
So the question is, what is our structure?
Well, I think the structure kind of comes with it, right? Like, the structure is a part of the client journey.
Yeah, I think it's just the way. I always thought that it makes more sense to me, quite frankly, because, you know, whether you like it or not, real estate is not like any job. It's basically you try to have your own ecosystem by yourself most of the time. That basically you're trying to do, you have to do a lot of prospecting. So you have to do you know, do you have to reach out for like 100 clients per day, 200 clients per day? But when I try to do that, because maybe I'm more of like, I go all in on one thing and I try them all. When I was calling a lot, I was getting a lot of prospects, but I was so fried by the end of the day that I couldn't really cater to them. Then when you move in and you try to cater to them the next couple of days, then you stop calling the other numbers and you lose really getting a new pipeline. Then you're finally, first of all, it takes time for an offline agents to do it. I don't know, people tend to make it seem like, you know, it's very easy for them, but quite frankly for me it took a long time. It's like finally when you get a deal, you spend 1 week working on it, you lose the whole thing, and then you call a client and they suddenly bought and you're like, oh, but I lost this one. You know, you're always having a heartbreak, either from this or that or that. And then it always made sense to me that the journey is you have the prospecting, you have the education and part of it, or let's say the whole mid part, which is education, choosing projects. The client depends on his time frame. Is it immediate in 3 months, or 6 months, or 9 months? And that really is the kind of the biggest chunk, to be honest, of the work, because that's when we sit with them and we have meetings, and then you guys send options, and then you try to follow up, and it's like follow up until like you get frustrated, and sometimes you get back to me and I'm like, okay, let me try to, you know, hit them from my side, and you try, you know, to talk to clients. And then you have the final part, which honestly sometimes it's time consuming. It's stressful, by the way. It's actually the most stressful part, because you already have a client, they're in on something, but then you have to take them, or like you have to guarantee them the unit, because that's the whole point, right? If it's a good project, if it's a good project, it's going to be falling off the shelf, okay? If you find a unit very easy, think it through. So yeah, then we have to do our strategy, and you guys are calling here and calling there and do it. So it's like 3 parts, okay? And I think one person, when they do it by themselves, they can succeed, but I don't know, I feel like maybe my mind works like a maximizing kind of way, where it's like doing the outreach so much, giving the client the best client journey ever, and guaranteeing the unit. And it doesn't really work out by yourself. It is very hard. I think it's almost like impossible, unless that you're very selective with your outreach, and you kind of are very smart at knowing which client to stick with, which I don't think I have that talent at all.
And here's the thing, how are you going to have it when you start off? Even if you are that genius that has it.
I've seen people they do, to be honest.
From the first.
Well, I've seen people they do, which for me, it's like you see somebody who plays basketball and you suck at it. I'm like, okay, you get rich playing basketball, do something else.
It's a little bit like you say, so you reach out to client and you're trying to identify who you are going to be able to assist. But doing it within a team, you will then have the time to assist more than just maybe, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 clients during a week. Doing it within a team, you can then provide the assistance and the time for the ones that is going to take a little bit longer before they invest. It's like you said, it is a pipeline. So we got 100, 200 clients per day that we need to follow up on.
You guys do a lot of heavy lifting. You call on stuff.
Some is in the early stage, some takes a little bit longer before they decide. And I believe doing it within a team, that gives us the time to focus on more and provide,
So what is the first step? First step after what we receive an inquiry?
Yes. From different platforms, from different lead generations. We do have personal clients that inquire about different projects. But yeah, the very, very first step is within the off-plan. Secondary and leasing work differently, but within the off-plan, we very much focus on an inquiry coming in. That's the very first step.
That means we receive a lead, for example, or he or me, because we're both doing the prospecting, mainly in the qualifying. So that means we receive an inquiry and we reach out first of all to understand what they're looking for.
Yes.
Take all the requirements, because people are looking for an investment, people are looking for an end use, people are trying to flip whatever they can buy, or people want to rent it out long term, or maybe even.
You're going to properly qualify the client.
Exactly.
Just grill them to get to know them.
Know as much as you can, and then what we do is, because as we just discussed, part of the client journey is not only doing a proper prospecting, also having a proper consultation. And since we both are not as long in the market as you are,
you guys keep saying that. Wallah, you keep saying this, and I find it bullshit.
It's true.
You keep saying it.
So just to give people an idea, how long have you been doing this? I don't know if you mentioned this last time, but
2 days.
2 days.
Oh, okay. The 2 minute breaks. 2 months.
2 months.
2 months and $100. Over 3. Like coming in my 4th year.
4th year.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well,
you've been in sales before, also. But it doesn't really.
Look, for me, it worked out. I'll tell you something. Quite frankly, it depends, because sometimes you feel like your life stages, they all worked out for something.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't know why I dabbled with numerology and says that my life path I should do real estate. I was so happy when I heard it online, because I'm like, oh, I chose the right one.
Finally made it.
Apparently, whatever this, you have to work in real estate. Hopefully, it's true, or I'm in trouble. But the thing is that I worked in call centers when I was young. So basically, I learned the protocols of calls, which was very nice. And then I never thought that I would actually, and I was we were kind of selling, but it was click to call. So basically, they request the call. We don't do cold calls. So it's not really as stressful as people who cold call. So it's like you guys when you get hot leads or fresh leads, people that are coming from campaigns, they ask to be called for a French company back in the days. And then I worked in sales for like couple of years, and then I became I grew up in the corporate ladder and became in the managerial position. So I learned sales on the floor as well, and then I went and I learned how to manage teams and how to build structure and how to build strategy. So when I came into real estate, I really seen that a lot of people, they come very young, which is very nice. Maybe they have more energy than me and more enthusiasm, but no structure. So you see people coming in and they're, as him, like they taught him CRM half a day. This is the palm.
This is the palm.
This is your call sheet. Yeah, this is the palm. And then you look at somebody like him and okay, he wants to make it. He's like young and energetic and ambitious, but he has absolutely no idea what to do. And he watches around, and quite frankly, most of the people around you, they have no idea what they're doing too. So it's not like you don't have somebody. And I think in real estate, when people who made it don't really have time to teach you. It's so demanding, it's so hectic, and they do it by themselves, and people don't trust each other that much in the sales business in general. So yeah, so for me it was more of like everything made up to this.
You mentioned, because this is how I felt when we start working together. You put a structure up. It was lovely to follow, because you will come in on a daily basis knowing what you need to do, who to reach out to. You will have all your notes, who to call, who to message, viewing, so on and so forth, what to send and when. And so having a structure helps a lot.
It is basically, as far as I understand it, it's a basic sales, well, not basic, but it's a sales structure which is used in a lot of companies, but not in real estate for some reason. Even though it is such a, like, the idea of starting as somebody who prospects is that it is on one side it's the hardest work, the work that, or not the hard, but the most dry work, I would say, like the most dry work, which nobody really wants to do. But it's also the one which has the easiest entry point. Like it's something you can just start doing because you don't need to know a lot, right? And
real estate is commission based.
The way, true.
You kind of panic in the beginning. You know all what you want to do. The corporate companies, they already pay you a salary, and usually they give you 6 months of probation. Like they know that you need 6 months to just like
have the time to
shoot
learn.
your shot.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Maybe I was more talking about this whole online sales. I don't know how aware you are, but like a lot of people are working online sales. That's what a lot of these digital nomads basically do. They have, for example, somebody who sells a course, right? They have people reaching out, for example, Instagram calls, whatever, and then they schedule a meeting, same as we do. They schedule it with a closer, and we schedule it with
so this structure is already happening in other industries. It's just that I personally, I've only been in the industry for a year, but I personally have not seen the structure in the real estate.
It makes a lot of sense, but it's not in real estate for some
But
reason.
people don't. I'll tell you something. There are two things in real estate that are, I think, the most pain points. People are commission based, and even if you have a little bit of money, you kind of feel stressed. It's just the way the mind works. Like, okay, I saved up for 3 months, and people tell you we'll close from the first month, which happens, true. But you're already starting with a stress factor that you need to close. So you never really enjoy the ride, you never appreciate the ride, you never take the time to learn. You're more goal-oriented, you're more like result-oriented, which is anxiety 101. And unfortunately, a lot of people come only with 3 months savings, and it's best to have a year saving, at least. For me, it's like, yeah, have 1 year, you're ready to really live a decent life. But people sometimes come and start real estate because they didn't find a job, etc. It's too many things. People come from different countries, having different expectations, thinking life is more like cheaper here than it is, because life quite costly. And the second pain point is the trust. Is because, and this is, I think, you know when they say that like societies like Japan, they have no natural resources, nothing going on for them at all. They kind of really were hit in the World War II severely. I think the worst country who has been hit ever in the history of the world, right? With 2 bombs. And because they have that high trust factor, they build themselves to become one of the biggest economies in the world. Why? There is a trust. So basically people go and they already have given each other the benefit of the doubt. In real estate, no, because people are afraid of losing their deals. People don't trust each other, so nobody wants to teach because they're like, well, I'm wasting my time on you, you're never going to be grateful. Nobody wants to share like a client and work together because like you will steal my client. And let's be very honest, when you enter the industry, I noticed, because I was not a go-getter, I'm not serious by nature, I noticed that people, when they come and start talking to you, they only say bad stuff. I don't know if it happened to you guys, but they only say bad stuff.
I experienced that, yes. Clients approach me for certain units or whatever, or I reach out to people who's got a unit to sell. This was when I was doing secondary, and then you want second opinion because you're still very new in the market, and other agents like, oh no, that's not worth it. Like, don't work it, leave it.
Yeah, he's lying. The client is lying. The agent you're trying to work with is lying. Nothing is good.
The commission is not enough for me to even be involved. You know, so I was like, okay, but like we're just starting out. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
I think they're too focused.
There's also honestly like I wouldn't if I would invest honestly I wouldn't trust someone who's 3 months in the market either. Like how is am I gonna make if I have no clue, how am I gonna make sure that he actually knows what he's selling?
This is what makes people pretend that they know more than they don't. See what you're saying now?
Yes.
It creates the conundrum because every new one trying to pretend that they know what they're talking about, so people would work with it.
That's what I'm saying. Like communicating, and that's why such a structure like we have it is, I think, so essential to actually guarantee a good client journey. If you don't have someone in the team who has the awareness and who knows the market enough to show.
Even though this structure is in place, right, I don't think that everyone is willing to, how do I say this, be under someone and is willing to learn. Because,
no, I've seen it.
Place, I know better. Who do you think you are that is going to be teaching me? There is age difference sometimes. But hey, you have to respect people who knows more than you, people who've been in this particular industry longer than you. So I think to get the best out of it is acknowledge that I don't know everything, I don't know enough. Why not having a senior above me, by my side, working together, and yeah.
Look, because I've tried to do this before, but I was trying to be in your place, guys, because I didn't know much about the market in the beginning, and it made no sense. I was like, okay, I'll get you. I'm good at prospecting because I've used the phone. I worked 2 years in a call center. I worked with French people, and like they're hard to deal with. They're so picky, so strict. Not really the most like open people. Like they're not Americans, but they'd like be very nice to you on the phone. They'd be like so rude. So I'll get you clients. I'll call every day. I'll make 200 calls for you.
I'll do the groundwork.
I'll do everything. And I want to watch you do what you want to do. And then you win, I win. And it's actually maximizing, right? But I noticed that I tried it with 2 people, okay? The first person Although I always say that you have to have trust, but honestly, he didn't give me any inspiration of trust. And it's more of a gut feeling, but at the same time, like, he ended up really proving me right, that he was not trustworthy, because I've seen a couple of situations where I didn't understand, and then I understood that the person was lying in a lot of situations, which I didn't like. Okay. Plus, he had a little bit of an ego that he cannot admit that he doesn't know something. So that's also a little bit hard to, like, because I search a lot. You know, while you're having a meeting with a client, I'm searching, and I'm trying. The same way you do with me, guys, right? You like sometimes like you're trying to slip me information while I'm talking to a client. Okay.
And that's only because you've taught us so well, so we know how to do our job, and we know how busy you are with a lot of clients. So sometimes we're just trying to be like, okay, well, how about this? And like, whoa,
Mustafa will find you with developers that you've never heard of. Like, quite frankly, he's such a go-getter. You need the Mustafa in your
platform at all whatsoever.
Yeah,
But
I think it's nothing.
But just because I can find you an option doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to present this to the client, because at the end of the day, we still need to sit down and discuss it before we actually go ahead with this particular option.
I know, but it's your anyway. You need the Mustafa in your team for some reason. One who is go-getter and one who makes you look so glamorous. Carl, if you want to look glamorous and look regal.
He's an analytic person where we're like, okay, so how are we doing this? We need to do it this way.
Yeah, he's German, so he plans.
And this is why
he plans.
He works very well within this structure.
Yeah, but you are chaotic and he's very organized. So for me, it's like hitting both things. He's German. So yeah, the first person, it was that. The second person, I wanted actually to say this because it's very important, is that second person was actually very talented. A little bit of ego, but we all have that healthy level of ego and stuff like that, so it's not an issue. I do too, everybody does. But he took it as a chance to chill.
Okay.
You know what?
Structure as a chance to chill.
Because it was not too many people. It was me and him. But I would give him so many. By the way, but back then, oh my God, it was too many. Because now the situation, things slowed down. But back then it was like this real estate on steroids. We were getting like 5 meetings a day. When somebody cancels on the. Thank God somebody canceled. But he took it for granted and he really was chilling. And I was so frustrated because for me, I watched his meetings. And by the way, I didn't have the knowledge. But I did presentation before because, that person didn't work in corporate. I worked in corporate. I know what a presentation looked like because I was trained by professionals how to make a good presentation for for vice presidents and all these things to sell your ideas and stuff. So I know that you're not doing your best. So me, I'm taking the calls. I will, empty your calendar so you can spend that time, watch something, learn something.
To learn more as a senior,
learn how to do a presentation. When I said that to him, and it was a him, he was like, I don't need this. And in my mind, the minute somebody said, I don't need this, I'm like, listen, if you go to, give me a very talented something, give me Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, okay, Steph Curry, okay, he was like, he would do like 30,000 shots in his career in order to hit those, hundreds of them, or no, more than 300,000, 3 million. I watched the video, said that, no, he did like 3 million above, whatever, these three free throws, whatever he does, so... talented.
Well, it's like you said, the minute you say, I know everything, I don't need to learn more, that's the day you stop growing, basically.
He was more of like, So, he wanted to have fun. And by the way, he ended up leaving real estate, although I believe he was talented. And I have such a bad memory that it's very hard for me to remember. Guys, every time there's remind me. I need constant reminders of details. He was so sharp that he would remember the clients. He doesn't need a CRM. Those people that they don't even need a freaking CRM.
He really didn't need it.
I swear, he knew the client, remembered every single thing about the conversation.
For her to say he was talented.
He was and he remembered all projects. Like for me, it's very hard. I have, I think, 1 GB that functions. So I constantly have to push myself through to remember what's happening. That's why I need everything to be documented, on CRM and stuff. But he was so good.
Well, talking about documentation and all of that, do you want to tell them a little bit what we do when we get a client
towards organization. Well, yeah,
Tell them about the harassment.
We're harassing clients?
harassment. The thing is, sometimes people inquire, obviously, and they don't remember, or they inquire multiple times, so they don't always pick up the phone. But we make sure that they will, because once we receive once we receive the inquiry, this person is being called for the next 2 weeks straight, texted. We send out the brochures. Well, depends on what the schedule is, right? But at least once or twice.
Yeah.
Double call always. This is, by the way, you said this, and I think it's true. From what I've seen, when you call somebody and you call them twice, sometimes people just don't pick up because they don't want to. But when you call them again, they have this. They think it's either it's urgent or maybe they press you away, and then you know at least the number works.
Or maybe they were just busy, and then we just give them a second call.
We're doing that because obviously we understand not as an investor, you know, you might be busy actually.
You better be busy making money.
Obviously, we want to make sure that the client goes with us and not with just anyone, because as we just said, we believe in this client journey. And something which we do as well is we clinically document everything, every single call, every WhatsApp on the CRM.
Every meeting.
The meetings are being transcripted, and also those summaries get put into the.
But that is
like,
only to make our life easier.
Yes.
Because we're dealing with so many clients, we're not going to have everything in our mind, so we can just go back and look. All right, so that was the last time we got in touch. What was the last discussion? This person hasn't replied for certain days. You know. So
But do you think we overdo it?
No, we don't overdo it, because it's also.
Seriously?
I think we underdo it sometimes because we've done this in the past, and then I remember during Christmas, because people were a little bit busy in December, we were calling for a whole month. So we have now 2 weeks. Before it was almost a month. We were following up with clients, and after New Year, January hit, people start reaching out on people that I stopped calling in December. So I received an inquiry, let's say 1st of December. I gave up maybe 2 days before New Year, and that's almost a whole month. Same client that was ignoring me for a whole month reached out in January. So are we overdoing it? I don't know.
I don't know. I usually feel like I tell you guys to do something, and then I feel like it's too much. I'm actually happy that you do it because people complain.
No, the thing is, I just feel like it's essential anyway. Like, I don't have this blockade in my mind anymore that cold calling is like, it's like, we just do it.
But do you remember
Yeah,
the
we don't
client
do
who
cold
picked
calling
up?
very much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's people that
How
inquire.
much he appreciated that we were following up with him.
I don't know. Let's see,
Some
man.
people actually
I really think that what we're doing is good. Sometimes I feel like I don't know. I push it too far with the whole documentation with how.
I like it.
Really?
I like
we
it. It's
do
just
so
I forget
much.
myself sometimes, and honestly, it's also sometimes, for example, people, you know, you call them and you call them 4 times already, and every time it says number out of service, I honestly, like, at some point I stop calling.
Yeah,
because
we're
the
not
chance that the number
maniacs.
all of a sudden works
We'll
is quite
stop being
low.
honest.
Yeah,
It's actually
if
time wasting.
somebody keep hanging up on us, or is somebody that I cannot reach, as it is not even going through, that's not somebody that I'm going to keep in my CRM for more than whatever days might be. But it's more if somebody engage over text, you know, I then understand today they don't have the time to talk. Maybe next week, maybe during the weekend, they work.
Yeah.
They finish work at, let's say, 6:30, 7 o'clock. I will reach out then. And that's also something I want to tell other real estate agents. It is not a 9 to 5. If you finish your office hours, let's say 5 or 6 o'clock, there is clients who's only available later in the evening. Reach out to them then.
Yeah.
You know.
Most of us schedule the meeting 2 a.m. to 10.
Here we go.
Eid doesn't care. I was literally telling him that I'm traveling. Can you please? And he was like, but it's okay to put it. There was a specific day I said, do not put anything, and then I found something. No respect for your life at all.
And there's
I think
one-
Carl respects humanity more than most, to be honest.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I said this yesterday. And it really comes down to your definition of balance. I think I have a really good definition of balance, but I think having a balance in life is really important. Even if you 100% focused on something, you can only be focused for so long.
Thank you for being on my side.
And that means for me, because there's people saying you need balance in life, which means you need to do 50-50. I don't believe that. But you need to understand what actually recharges your body. And if that means that on Sunday, for example, you lay in the sun for 6 hours and you do nothing and don't think about real estate, if that's what brings you balance for the rest of the week, and you go to the gym in the evening, this is what I call balance, and I think it's really important and healthy to have that.
Well, then it's 2 versus 1 issue. We win. We win on this.
I lay down to get ready for the next day. I don't do anything else. Weekends, I don't mind working, but if you guys want to have a Sunday off,
you get restless. You have deep issues. You get restless when you have nothing to do.
Yes.
When you wake up 4 a.m. in the morning,
Sometimes.
trying to fight with the world. The minute that I tell him to slow down, you feel like he's just like, something in his software is not functioning very well, unless he's like, I think you know what, you were born. You are born in the wrong decade. This whole decade of computers is not for you. You needed like the sword.
This is why I also struggle with like it takes a little bit longer for me to get like the CRM. I don't know if you remember, but it took me a little while before I learned this whole CRM thing.
Yeah, because you're resistant structure because you want it to be like all over the place. Like, let's call. This is Attica. I need to call. Habibi, wait, but you need to document. You need to call.
That's the thing, and as I said, the reason I'm saying this is also because the way we work is obviously a lot more intense than I think the average real estate agent.
And we can only do so because we work within a team. You couldn't do this by yourself. You could only do it for a certain period of time before you got burned out. There's been times where Carl's like, all right, well, you know what, today I'm feeling a little bit energetic, a bit down, whatever the case might be. I will then take his client and start reaching out. And it's been happening where I might be busy on a client tour. This is where it comes down to. Working within a team gives us time to do other things. If I'm doing something with a certain client and it's taking half of the day or the whole day and I don't have time to call all my clients, Carl, could you please assist me with this? Yeah, sure, because I'm doing the follow with my own clients, why not? But if you're out with a client, let's say for 3-4 days, they're coming from abroad, you need to show them around, you will then not have the time to follow up on the other clients. Working with a team is a huge blessing.
I think I got lucky, to be honest, because I really tried to do this with being like at your place, guys, like doing mostly the prospecting, and I don't know, it didn't work out. And then I got better at the business. I met somebody. Well, I had a very amazing colleague. Shout out to Fabrizio Caputo. Fabrizio Caputo. He's a great agent, by the way. So I'm yeah. You also, if you want to buy from him, I don't mind. Actually, be happy. Seriously, he was such a great human being, but he was like different. He doesn't need a team. He is a whole system. Like, I don't know, he's a software by himself. Such a hard worker, such a great guy, very straightforward. And I was really in a bad place when I met him, to be honest. And he was like adopted me like a puppy. And he really taught me so much. And after really working for 2 years with him, I wouldn't have been like half the agent I am if I didn't work with him. And I watched him be, and he would take time out of his day. And he was so busy to really teach me. So when I got better in the business, because of the lovely Fabrizio Caputo, I don't know, things happened. That's why we actually started this, and it was like a different situation. But I think I got lucky. Yeah. And it's like we tried it with the team before. Carl was not with us, and then also it was a very good learning experience because you've seen like what are the issues when also you try to do it with the team. And I think Mustafa was the only person that you could work with on a team, because I have my own flaws as well. I'm not easy, right, to be honest. And he's like such a go-getter that you have to slow him down. And then we've seen other people that, okay, maybe his issue that he's not organized, that he doesn't slow down, he get excited. But my issue is I'm like, I don't know, a little bit control freak. I have a very bad temper, anger issues, But the thing is that at least these are things that are not related to work or are not related to character, where you cannot really either trust the character or the work ethic. But we've seen others, and some others, either it's like they cannot work with a team, either that they are like really not honest about anything. Like, you cannot even trust them. Like, we're giving you clients, but what are you doing with them?
Trust is super important.
Did you send the options?
Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. All right, here comes tomorrow.
No, but they lie.
Are
The
you
thing is
sending
that
the
people
options?
think
Yeah,
they're
I'll
such
do
a
it.
talented liars. I'm like, you're lying. I have a CRM. I see it.
But
What
this
are
is
you
why
doing?
We emphasize on the CRM, and this is why it's very important for us to put everything down. So, at the end of the day, we have to also prove that we're doing our work. I mean, we've come
Yeah.
to the
And you're
point.
justifying for yourself also, like you know yourself.
Yes.
Okay, if
You
I,
can't lie to
I
yourself.
don't really want to do today, but at the end of the day, we will see it.
Wouldn't you at least respect a talented liar? Because there were even lame liars. Like, at least if you lie, I need to believe it.
But what would be talent? I don't know. How could you even lie? How would you even lie? I think the only way you could lie is if you say you met someone in person, nobody was there,
You can lie
and you tell
all
them,
day.
yeah, they would. I don't know.
I don't know. They were very bad
Unserious
liars.
expectations.
They
How else would you try?
They were the kind of agents that they acted as if they sold half of Dubai when they didn't. And they I don't know, like, you don't need to put an effort. I don't know. Well, we've been really shitting on people for the past 2 episodes. I'm done with shitting. But just to say something about you, which Carl was a different situation.
Yes.
First of all, he also kind of got into himself in the situation because he was always there and present. But Carl was the kind of person that actually approached and said, I want to work with you, which I really appreciated because nobody really comes and says, hey, you seem to be doing something good.
Yes.
And it seems like something, I want to get on the train.
Well, I have to be very honest. When I met Carl, he was a little bit different than everyone else. So I was actually watching him for a little while because I had then just joined the team. you know. So I said, oh, this is a talent here. So I was watching, and he was, like you say, always present, always the highest calls. Very professional, very direct. The managers liked him. So yeah, when we had the conversation and I told him what I want to do in Dubai or in life in general, we're on the same page. So working together is always a pleasure.
I actually respected the fact that he was so determined to make it. It was borderline psychopathic, but you need a little bit of psychopathy if you want to make it in life. But he's just like so determined, delusionally determined, which I like it. It reminded me when I was 20, when like you're like homeless with your bag, have nowhere to go, and you're like, I'm not backing down.
Well, I was actually watching an agent doing some social media content, and she had very, very recently joined the real estate industry, and she said, so she had just come in, done real estate for a couple of months, and she said, the real estate agents are very, very resilient. And what does resilient means is, now this could be a wrong definition, but something happens to you, you deal with it there and then, very short period of time, quick, and then move on. And I believe, even if you're not resilient as a person coming from abroad, coming to Dubai, the market is resilient. The market itself, whatever happens in the real estate market, will pick up very quickly. That could happen in other countries, but not as resilient as Dubai. So you as a person start adapting to the market itself, because if you're not a resilient person, you come in here, working in this industry, and you stop seeing things happening from other agents, from the market itself, you think, okay, so it only took a month for the market to pick up again. And you look at another real estate agent, like, oh, so she or he went through something yesterday, and today they're back at it again, giving it at 100%. I can do so too. Resilience is that's something you have, some other real estate agent have, and I think if that's not in your nature, the market will teach you that. Dubai in general is a place,
or kick you out.
Well, you won't last basically, and that's something I recommend just in general. If you want to grow, you want to become a stronger person, Dubai is the city. If you don't last, you don't last. That's a different story. But Dubai as a city, everyone wakes up. Because I remember when I had just come here last year, right? I thought to myself, oh yeah, I'm going to wake up 6 a.m. on a Saturday and head to the beach when no one else is, half of Dubai was on the beach running already. You know, there was sweating
Yeah, it's
and
very,
running, you know.
it's
The
very
amount of
expensive.
running clubs on Kite Beach is.
Yeah, but that's what
And it's
drives
hot.
you.
You don't even understand it. It's hot weather and they're running.
Crazy, man.
Cycling, running, playing sports before work, you know, but you be like, oh, so if you're not that person already, you start picking up those habits. Dubai as a city, or the UAE, I think in general, they very much focus on growing, making things better, improving.
That's
By
why
the way, yesterday, sorry to talk about the city. Yesterday, I was like driving, and I always know that the country has sense of humor. So you know, you have countries that are run very strictly, and you have countries that are like really, I don't know, they go into so much like, not sense of humor, but leniency, let's say. But this country has like a very good mix. I don't know how to explain it. Like everything is organized and all, and respect and all these things. So you don't come here to misbehave because you don't really last. You know, you get kicked out. But at the same time, the sense of humor was so good. There's a panel where every time, like on the street or like on the highways, they put like, for example, congratulations, let's say, to Kuwait for their independence, whatever, etc., or there is an accident. Those things on the road where they tell you what's happening, or they advertise like a Eid or something. And I was driving on Mohammed bin Zayed, and it was written Dubai it, and I'm like, you are so funny. And they were writing it all over the city. Dubai it. No, they didn't come up with it. I think it's a trend that came up as if like. And they were translated in Arabic, which is a country of actions.
yes, and I think they added it as an official word, right? It's an official.
I don't know if I know that it's a trend. Maybe you can tell me, but they did it like Dubai it, and next to it, country of action. So that's the definition, but in Arabic. So now, if you want to do something, Dubai it, like
Just to give
make
you
it
an
happen.
example, right? I saw something online the other day as well. An individual driving past a sign that was a bit weird out, like getting older, a bit dusty, whatever. I don't know if you guys saw this, but he recorded this and sent it to the organization that is in charge of this particular, thing. The next day, it was removed and replaced.
Metro station.
In the morning, the next day.
Dubai it. I really like it.
If there is something else anywhere else in the world, if there's something wrong, sometimes it takes weeks before it gets fixed or changed. This happened.
They don't. Sometimes they don't even get fixed. Just so you know.
Street, the amount of holes which are in this road for over 20 years already. It's literally.
I truly.
Look, I come from Tunisia, so there are very funny stories. At least you're from Germany. It's much, much more involved. He lived in Sweden. He lived in England. I can tell you about the real world, my friend. Tunisia is the Wild West.
So it's very impressive how Dubai does it actually. Very impressive.
And what I wanted to say from my side, the reason I wanted to join you guys was because I've been doing leasing for 3 months, and not only obviously have I worked with the people who are downstairs, I kind of like see how they move and how they take actions, and maybe not, right? So and I was always interested because from the beginning I found interesting like this off-plan meetings, going to the developers and this and that. And we always, everyone gets the
anyway. I remember you were always with us somehow. You took initiative because no one even told you. Anytime we went to the developer,
but why did you come, by the way?
Because we got the
Nobody asked you to come.
Exactly.
Nobody told you. You just took.
He just
So because the admin, they always send the email to everyone.
Sure, yeah.
I'm sitting there, and I get this, and it says like Nahil, broker breakfast, and I'm like, wow, okay.
Free breakfast.
And I'm like, so I'm asking somebody else, should I go? And they're like, nah, I wouldn't go if I was you. I would focus. I would. And none of them went. Really. So I was thinking, I learned to listen to my intuition very early. So I'm thinking, I find it interesting. Maybe I can meet someone interesting. I can see something cool. And I remember the first thing I actually went was this Nahil thing.
In the Palm thing, yeah.
And I came, I was like, okay, damn, this sales office, wow. And then you see.
He's like me when I went to the office and like the chairs.
They have this huge palm tower, right? I was like, damn, okay, that's what's actually going on, because I didn't know. I was just in leasing. Because on the Palm, the majority of the buildings is really old. And I used to walk in and out of these old, shitty buildings all day. I was like, dang, that's what's going on.
But did you feel like you want to do that? Like, this is what I want to do?
It was more interesting to me, and at the same time, as I said, I wanted to, because I was in a tricky situation, and I wasn't sleeping in the car at that time. It was really close already. So I was...
the survivalist.
Yeah, I was just thinking,
I
like,
need to learn more. I need to do
take
more.
everything
Yes.
I can, and maybe you meet someone there that I can rent from, because it was below the Palm also. And I think that was the first touch I had. And then from then, every time there was a lounge somewhere, I went to Mira, I think.
Yeah.
And that's also where we had the road show then, where actually, which I really appreciated, because you just wrote me in. I didn't even know that was possible.
For the stand,
For
you
the
mean?
shifts, yeah, I was just because.
Yeah, because you showed up. They didn't show up. They're on the team and didn't show up, and you showed up.
Yeah, and I was like,
yeah, if you get an opportunity, go ahead.
And then the war hit anyway, so I was like, okay, calling leasing now on the Palm. It's not really like a thing anyway.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, well let's try that. And
Something actually, I want to ask you something. Well, I know it's real estate related, but not entirely. It's about you.
Yeah.
Why are you so adamant to make it? And I'm asking you this because I'm a person who doesn't have that drive. Okay? I don't understand. Well, I understand it to some degree, but it's like he's so adamant to make it in a slightly psychopathic degree. So what makes you want to make it so bad?
Well, there's two things. One thing is, I honestly, the way I'm built, I am extremely performance oriented. Like the way I'm built already, I'm extremely performance oriented. Capricorn 5 times in my whole chart. If you know, you know.
Oh, ma buonasera, buongiorno.
That is, yeah. So that's in me anyway. And I think the rest is, and this is something, yeah. I wasn't raised in a, let's say, luxurious way. Where I come from, we never had anything. Like, I was never missing anything essential in life. We always had wonderful Christmas with presents, and we always had what we needed. There was never an issue with that. But I always wanted more, because I was, and it's also a mindset thing. Like I saw that not only from my parents, and I also see it generally in Germany a lot. Is this? Somebody has money and a nice car, and you're like,
That's socialism, my friend.
Yeah, well, why does he need to show his money? This really not understanding why people like these things and want to have it. But I always had this affection of nice places and a nice car, and why do I need to sit in a car which I don't even really fit in?
Well, you don't fit in most cars, my friend.
It's like,
I have to change the car just for him to.
That's what luxury means, right? If you don't need to think about spending money on things which just improve your life. You don't need a Lambo. If you want to have it, of course, that's freedom, right? That's what money brings you, freedom. But you don't need that. I think if you're driving a car every day, which is not big enough for you, it's just gonna mess you up. Energetically, I wanted to say that. It's
So it's your size that is driving you for better things. It's like, I can't have an apartment, I need a 5-bedroom villas.
It's just wanting to have what I could never have, and at the same time, I want to give. I've lived this life already for some time here in Dubai, and I appreciate it so much. And that's also something I want to give to my family. I want to provide this for my family. I want to provide this for my friends. I want to be able to take care of people. I love to have, like, it fulfills me to have responsibility for people that I love and that I like. It fulfills me really. Honestly, like, money plays a big part in that, because you can't really take care of people who don't have the money. So yeah, I think that's why I decided to do so. I've specific pictures of me in my head, how I want to be or where I want to be within the next 5 to 10 years.
Well, FYI, Carl promised me a ranch, because I know I'm not a go-getter. I know that he's going to be the billionaire. I'm not. It's just not in my DNA. So he promised me a ranch. What else? Just a ranch?
You wanted to ask for a ranch.
I don't remember. It was a ranch. That's it. Yeah, a ranch. Yeah, for me to just go there and leave humanity behind. Yeah.
It's funny
And he
how we
said
say,
yes immediately.
You know, when you come to Dubai and you feel this joy, which you feel every day, the beach, the structure of the city, the tall towers, the network that you have, you would love for your loved one to have it as well. Family and good friends, that is something. So I always tell people, I wish the day will come where I can be the person that can provide it, but someone have to take the first step, right? If you come from a community where everyone is very happy where they are, content, yeah, sure, no worries. But like Carl said, you be the first one that take this first step, the adventure, enjoy it, learn it, make the most out of it, and then show it to the people that could also enjoy this experience. You know,
it is. Yeah, being there's these quotes on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen it. It's, being the first one in the bloodline to make it happen.
To make it happen and then provide it for everyone else. Dubai is a beautiful city. It's a beautiful city. I don't think people know how beautiful it is, honestly. You see what you see, boats, cars, whatever, right? And that's one thing I want to mention is, I can't believe how green it is and how family-oriented it is. That's something that shocked me, because you see young people doing this and that, but then once you live here for a little while and you realize how family-oriented it is, and I thought it's a desert. Like I thought June, July, August, I'm not going to see anything green. But on the way here today, I was telling God, there's trees everywhere. It's green. Like I was shocked.
No, it is like a part of the initiative, even like for the plan for 2040 to just make it 60% greener, which is basically, yeah, actually for a desert it's pretty green. It's not green as Europe for sure, but it's for a desert it's like I don't know, it can't get greener than this, right? Yeah. So yeah, they do a lot, and they do it very fast as well, which is very impressive. Yeah.
What's the one thing that you like most about Dubai, would you say?
Look, I don't see the city as you guys because you're new to it. I've been in the Gulf for the last 12 years, so it doesn't impress me because it's my normal. Okay. Plus, I'm older. Or you old, but you're new, so it's a different thing. And I think by nature, I don't get impressed. Like, for example, Carl wants that lifestyle. That's what makes him go-getter. Maybe I'm not go-getter because, I prefer really sitting in the ranch, quite frankly. What I like is not really related to how fancy it is, or even, I don't think even I appreciate the greenery, but maybe it's a character issue that I don't appreciate the fancy things. I like that things move smoothly. Because I think Carl would know this, you would know it because you were both from Europe, I'm from Tunisia, we're all socialist countries, by the way. And you can see the difference between socialism and capitalism. And this is like a monarchy capitalism, which is a different even thing. Where basically in socialism, the system is always trying to control how things are done to make sure that everybody is satisfied, supposedly, okay? Which makes people who tend to be high performers or exceptional or talented get frustrated because I want to fly, okay? And I think you're supposed to give people the chance. The one who wants to live a more moderate life or like a simple life, do you. The one who wants to fly, let them fly. You cannot tell people what they need to aspire to. And I think this is why, as you said, like in Germany, people tend to really look down. I think it's the same in England, by the way. It's like dreaming is looked down on. Like either you look like a money-hungry person or like a shallow, supposedly. Yeah. Huh?
Tax avoidant.
Tax avoidant as well. Okay, but I've never paid tax almost in my life. I've lived in the Gulf, so I really don't understand the pain of taxes. But you know what I mean? Like, it's like it's not like to each his own. It's more of like, we know what you should live and we know what's the best for people, which I think it's the same as those kind of parents that they bring children and they think that they can structure their life. Then the child hates them and then becomes a rebel and drinks and uses drugs, and then, you know, and then they say, what happened? It's like, you happened. And then you come to a country, for example, that is capitalist, like US is super capitalist, but this is like different. It's a monarchy capitalism, so basically it's less changes and hectic debates and more of like, it's one line, which I personally appreciate because I hate chaos. You love chaos. Like you, if you go to US, maybe you'll thrive. I don't think I can deal with like hectic environments in general. It's one of the reasons maybe I'm not so happy in Dubai, because Dubai is hectic, whether we like it or not. Maybe I'm more of an Abu Dhabi person. So it's like, it's one line, one strategy. It changes, it does change from time to time, but it's more of like to keep up with what's happening in the world, to make it faster. So what I like is the fact that here, there's like, things move smooth. I like that things happen like very fast. I like using the apps. I like that I can pay things online and it happens fast. I like that I can complain about noise below my apartment from the fancy cars, by the way, and the police comes on the spot and they get a ticket because they generally like wake you up in the middle of the night. They're happy with their cars, but they're pissing me off. So, you know, I like that. I like the fact that when I'm trying to apply for a visa for a relative, it takes like 24 hours to get a visa for them. Well, for example, I was trying to apply for a visa to Europe, and it takes time and paper stack. You know, I like the lack of bureaucracy. And I like how ridiculous they're trying to even remove further. I'm like, what else are you going to, like, soon it's gonna be like, I talk and you deliver, because they keep...
I think about it.
Yeah, as soon as like, I thought about it, you qualified my thought and I moved forward.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that there's competition in the market, because that's the free market, right? There's not much regulation. I think in Europe, that's what people like struggle with, because if you don't have that competition and free market, the price will not come down as well. And here, like the prices, like the discounts, I think people who even have very modest jobs, they tend to have a nice iPhone. That's not something that happens in my country. You have an iPhone if you're a top tier person. They can wear nice clothes. Things are cheaper than my country, and the power of purchase in my country is lower.
How cheap things are here. People think it's expensive. It's not.
I think it's the same now. I think but we compare salaries. We compare like the income per capita, or whatever they say. Yeah.
Taxes.
And we don't pay taxes. Yeah.
Only as a company.
Transportation is a bit expensive if you're taking a taxi, but you know, cars are pretty like affordable here, pretty cheap. It's like half price in my country because they tax them there, or they put like 100% on tariffs. So yeah, I like that. I like this about the city. I know that you guys like the dynamism and everything. I don't have appreciation for it from a character perspective, maybe. I don't visit places. I don't get impressed. I think Carl has been here 9 months and know more about Dubai than I do. I know it on the map.
You don't even use Google Maps on nothing, man.
Yeah, I've been driving
crazy.
8 years with like the map, and he's here less than a year, and
It takes you everywhere.
And yeah, like when there was the disturbance of the signal, I had to really stop in front of his building and tell him, can you drive me home and take my car? Because I didn't know how to go home. Like it reached to that level. So yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I think I'm more of like, I like it as a concept, I like it as an idea, I appreciate it so much. It's just that I don't enjoy a lot of things because that's not what I'm into. I know it on the map, but I know of places, I'll tell you everything, but I didn't experience it as much as others. So yeah, if I'm being honest, because that's the truth.
I just appreciate the spirit.
The spirit of
The spirit.
Yeah,
I see
it's a
myself,
different vibe.
I want to build an empire. I want to build a family empire, and I see myself building it here. And if
Yes.
my name is not on one of those towers one day, I didn't make it.
Valtower.
Yeah.
Valtower. His name is Valtower.
That's the spirit.
No.
I remember I walked, that was one of the first weeks, and I actually decided, September by the way, it was humid as hell, and I decided to walk home, and I was walking home walking for the first time through downtown, and I see all this, and I see Imar on every single one. I think like, who is this guy?
He wants to compete with Imar.
How much does this tower cost? And how much power does it actually mean when your name is literally the entire city, the entire downtown, every tower has this name on it. Like, how much does this name actually mean? I don't need a whole downtown to have my name on it. It was impressing.
I don't believe you. He's saying I don't want to hold it. I don't believe it. Even the slightest.
Drives you. If you're not that person, it's going to make you think differently.
Again?
I mean,
It's going to make you think.
It is going to make you think differently. You have to grow. Basically, if you're in Dubai, if you're not with the program, you're going to be left out, and you're basically not going to last for a long time. So coming to Dubai will make you move in a different pace. It will make you connect with other people. That is going to, expand the horizon.
Quite frankly, I think people are not fair to Dubai in one aspect, which is, I know go-getters like Carl, or you, like Carl is more of like, he wants to make it, and you go for anything. Oh, keep making fun of me. I enjoy making fun of me. You appreciate that side maybe because that's what speaks to you. But by the way, I've been 12 years in the Gulf, and I have friends who lived abroad in other countries. It's not like because like you travel, because some people is like, yeah, traveling it makes a difference, but also like in humanity you get a big dose of like humanity. Like I know that growth, when it comes to money, there are a lot of potential. You just have to, grind for the first couple of years, find your way in and everything. But then you have really room to really, sky's the limit here, as long as you're a hard worker and have integrity, quite frankly. But I think when it comes to even humanity, because myself, maybe I never really wanted to be a billionaire, not in my nature, but I always wanted to understand. I wanted to understand humanity. I wanted to understand myself better. I wanted to understand why things happen the way they are, and because it's very fast, and because it has too many people from too many countries, and things move, I don't know, differently. Maybe things in different countries, like the socialist countries, are very slow. Here, like fast makes you learn faster. Sometimes I would feel like I'm like a 55-year-old person. Although, like, if you ask me in spirit, like I'm at best 15. Like I'm ridiculous. I'm 33, but I know that I behave like a child. I'm ridiculous. I genuinely don't want to even think that I'm a grown-up. But at the same time, when I speak to my friends, it's like, from one side, I feel like, oh, well, I understand a lot about life, and yeah, you mourn the innocence that you had, or you mourn the fact that they seem to see life simpler, but at the same time, you're grateful that you really learned stuff. And it's not really easy. It can be brutal, it can be hard. It's a city, and city is really brutal. Like the same way people will talk about Tokyo, or talk about New York, or talk about London. It's a brutal thing. It's beautiful, it has possibility, but also on a human level, it's brutal. It's like, you better really not have an ego. I think you better come here with like trying to not have an ego. You better come with integrity, because it's very easy for you to get burned out by bad reputation. I think people underestimate that, especially in real estate. They tend to think like, I bluff my way in. I was like, yeah, you'll bluff your way in 2 deals and then up you go. You better really start being open to criticism. You better really work on yourself, like communicating. You better be yourself, because I think a lot of people come to Dubai and try to create a character, because the same way like somebody pretends that like you guys always say that you don't have experience, but somebody who's like, it's been like 2 days in any industry tries to act like if they if they own the industry. So they build a character, they try to fake it, they're not really being honest and transparent. Doesn't get you anywhere. I think, and I'm guilty of doing a lot of mistakes, maybe not those, but I've done different ones. I think Dubai, if you don't really, if you don't really it kind of sharpen your character and trim all the bad branches, you're gonna be bitter. You're gonna be, you might make it a little bit, but I don't think you're gonna make it that far. So I think from a character perspective, yeah, get in line or get lost here.
Well, another thing about the way is you've got so many Arabs, because I have Arab roots, born in Iraq and all of that. Then I grew up in Europe. So I cannot go back to my country, for example. However, I can come to Dubai and feel this Arabic culture and feel free with my Arabic roots in a 50% Arabic culture, and then you've got European as well, because like you said, everything is still very organized. It's the safety, which not all the Arab countries provide. So it's a mixture of European culture and then you've got the Arabic culture. Yeah.
Oh, well, you're just in the Arabic countries. Believe me, Europe is not doing well at all.
But it's still not safe for me to go and live in my country, for example. So I chose Dubai.
No, listen, but you're comparing. Look, Dubai, I think it's a very special case. The Gulf in general, I think it's a very special case, and specifically Dubai. Like when people say, like, okay, the safest city and all these things in the world, you cannot compare it to the Arabic, like, say, cities that they're not the safest. Come on, like you're being unfair. But if you're comparing the Arabic countries to Europeans, well, we're not that far off, my friend. Okay, whatever's happening in London is happening in downtown Tunisia.
What's going on in Dubai is a balance. Dubai offered that European culture as an organization. Things doesn't take long to get done and all of this. And at the same time,
it's an odd case.
It's a very odd case.
It's a very odd case. It's a very odd case. It's like capitalism that doesn't have a lot of hectic noise around it. It's the monarchy that give that linear kind of how do you say it, strategy that doesn't change every time somebody comes in and out and all these things. It's not the best weather in the world. It's changing, but it was never really the best weather in the world. So it's very funny that it's now a tourism hub. It's too many things. I think it's a very odd case that I think it's very hard to replicate. Although even they say Dubai, but I don't think you can really Dubai it. It's a very odd case.
To go into details, we're going to have a lot of sessions. So I think we're going to have a field day telling people about Dubai and the real estate.
I think it is, if you're an investor and you're trying to put some money somewhere, but you're not really sure about Dubai and you don't really know, come here in person, live here for maybe a couple of weeks, get in touch, get somebody to take you around, show you the different communities, how the city is built, to understand the spirit, what actual safety feels like, and not what is being sold to you in Europe, what safety is.
Different areas got different vibes to it as well.
Absolutely.
The whole of Dubai is not just one vibe.
It's not just downtown
Marina, you've got so many different areas within Dubai that feels different as well. This is what people tend to move around. You could spend 1 or 2 years in this particular area and then you move on to a different area just to experience that vibe of the area.
Honestly, it's a very odd case. I don't know. It's too many things that come. You know, when sometimes you see somebody who's like, "Wow, you're not somebody that we can actually imitate." It's just too many factors played in, historical, cultural. Let's say the right people, thought of the right vision at the right time. Because people think it's wealth. People think sometimes, okay, so we know when we were in school, it's like, wealthy in resources or great weather or strategically positioned. It's always, they tell you that you need to have something going on in like, either like you have wealth, you have this, you have that, so you can actually make it. And I think, no, it's an odd case. The same as Japan. For example, Japan, it's just really that they're such hard workers and they really have so much respect and they have that trust factor that they trust when somebody shows up to work, they're going to do their best. That's why they built such a great economy. No resources. Islands that they're really shaky. Like, this is like the worst hand you can be dealt as a country, right? Shaky islands. I don't know what kind of tsunamis they're getting hit by. They got 2 bombs before. It's too much. Like, even historically, they were not lucky. What would happen in the war, and even like from a demographic, whatever you call it. Not demographic. I don't know the English word. But the terrain is like, it's not really the most inviting one. Is like islands, they're shaky, they're whatever, but they managed to build something. The same thing here. It was not the best weather, and trust me, like AC wasn't invented that long ago, so I think it was really hard for people. Before, it's a desert. It's really hard to grow a desert. Yes, there was like the wealth factor, but I think it was also well handled. You can give somebody wealth and they'll be like a spoiled brat, and you can give somebody a little bit of money and, so it's, I don't know. Too many things worked out at the same time. You just get grateful and just move on.
But that's what I'm saying. Just come here, experience it. We'll definitely talk a lot more in the next episodes.
And hopefully we'll stop shitting on other people. No, but seriously, like, For me, like this podcast is mainly
experiences.
for people to get to know us. I know that we're supposed to explain more stuff. I think you guys are better than me in this. You always want to make it around work. I like to riff.
I think it's a healthy combination.
Healthy. Yeah. And different characters.
I like to switch between topics.
Yeah.
I think I find it really interesting to know personal motivations. It's not just about the real estate itself.
You know when you were saying why we're doing it, and we were actually started to ask questions, and then we moved to something else because that's what we do when you just riff. For me, it's good to really get to know people because I see a lot on online content that it's really sales driven, really go-getter driven, which is maybe not my vibe. So,
Boring ones.
yeah.
Everyone does it.
And it's this, yes, and you know when everybody does the same, you want to run to the hills. I don't know. It's just a human instinct, and it's like, ugh, you're all doing it. I'm not doing it. So, plus, real estate can get a little bit hectic, can get a bit stressful. Sometimes you're kind of repeating the same thing. So for me, it's fun to really sit and just have fun. Really, I'm just like for my own personal fun as well.
We want to get to know more people. We want to get to know people in Dubai, in the UAE. We're also expanding to Abu Dhabi now. We're getting in touch with agents from Abu Dhabi. And it would be lovely to also get to know people from other countries. You know, there might be a time where we might have to travel elsewhere. They might want to come and visit the UAE in general. So we're also doing this to expand our network.
Yeah. We'll get to know us through the podcast, and hopefully we'll start posting content.
Are you making sure you put in all the other stuff so they can reach out to us? Because I know I'm receiving AM, so...
True.
Yeah, so okay.
I'm actually shocked we got comments. I thought actually it's going to take a couple of months to really pop it, man.
Start asking you questions.
Yeah, great fake accounts to ask himself questions.
My name is...
I'll comment myself, Carl. Whoever this Carl guy is, he looks amazing.
Yeah, such as that.
Whoever he is.
So handsome.
Yeah, we bought some bots. No, but it's good. I think we're going to keep doing this.
I'm so happy.
Best appreciation.
500% appreciation.
500%.
Yeah, wait. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then we'll see each other in the next episode.
You're not going to plug stuff? You're not going to plug where they can find you? I thought you were the pro here.
You're the pro, yeah.
I am here to talk and go home.
Same as usual. Subscribe to the YouTube channels. Comment down below if there's anything you want to know or specifically being talked about in one of the next episodes. Instagram channels will be linked down below. There will be short clips of the podcast, educational content, personal content, as well as lifestyle content around these three personas here. Wherever you want to go with, check them out down below. So don't miss out on anything coming up because there's a lot coming up. And then, yeah, as I said, we'll see each other in the next one.